Well, welcome to the broadcast. I am Ian Keitani. On the sign language desk is Wilson Mushora. We begin with matters Ol Kalou by-election, where our team is in Ol Kalou, Nyandera County. Of course, bring us up to speed with the latest in terms of preparations ahead of tomorrow's mini poll. And we're now joined by our political affairs reporter, Alan Ochanda, who is on the ground just to keep us abreast of the latest. Alan, take it away.
Well, Ian, we promised our viewers wall-to-wall coverage of this particular mini poll of Ol Kalou, where 70,000 voters will be heading to the ballot tomorrow to decide who their member of parliament for the next 1 year before they head to the general election next year will be. And so the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, has already deployed electoral officials and voting materials. And my colleague Ken Gashui has already prepared that story. And so this is the story that Ken Gashui prepared.
With only a few hours remaining before polling begins in the Ol Kalou parliamentary by-election, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, finalized its preparation by dispatching election officials, polling clerks and voting materials to all 144 polling stations across the constituency.
The elections start from 6 a.m. in the morning and ends at 5 p.m. In the evening, but whoever shall be on the queue at 5 p.m. will, of course, according to the regulations and the rules, will be allowed to cast his vote. 9 candidates are seeking to fill the parliamentary seat that fell vacant following the death of David Keraho in March this year. The IEBC has assured voters it will conduct the election impartially.
We are basically midwives. We are an impartial organization. We have no specific candidate, no affiliation to any political party.
We do not expect that any person who is not accredited shall be allowed into the polling station, except the voter.
The Commission has further emphasized that only the digital voters register will be used during the by-election, containing the names of all voters who had registered until the day the seat fell vacant.
The KIMS kit is also able to identify those people whose biometric has not come up. We have come with that method, alphanumeric identification, using your ID number. There were quite a number of additions on the 2022 register, but we went up to when the MP rested.
Responding to claims by some political leaders that their supporters would remain at polling stations to guard their votes, the Commission has warned that only accredited individuals will be allowed to remain behind.
Any other person, the 400 meters radius, which is the polling station, is not allowed unless you produce accreditation documents, so that we have a process that is smooth and we leave the voters to exercise their right without any interference.
Following the high-stakes campaigns, the residents have urged the government to allow them to freely elect their preferred leader and to respect the outcome of the vote.
Jomba tu serikali ya Mheshimiwa William Ruto watupe amani, watupe peace of mind, watupe uwanja, watupe nafasi ya kuchagua our choice candidate of our choice.
Tuangalia na macho yote mbili tuone wataipeleka namna gani, na wakipeleka mbaya tunawaona, wakipeleka mzuri bado tutawaona, tuone kama wako na capacity ya kutosha kutuletea ile ingine, ile uchaguzi kubwa.
After the voting exercise across all the 144 polling stations in this constituency is complete, the results shall be transmitted to this tallying center where the next member of parliament for Ol Kalou constituency shall be declared. Reporting for KTN from Ol Kalou, Nyandera County, my name is Ken Gashui.
In the same wavelength, there has been heavy deployment of security officials in Ol Kalou ahead of tomorrow's by-election. And of course, on the Gilgil-Nyahururu highway, there has been a police roadblock where motorists have been subjected to rigorous checkups to just ensure that political dissidents do not get into Ol Kalou. But remember that the DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua had expressed his apprehension, reading sinister motive in that particular heavy deployment. That, however, according to the IEBC, is just normal housekeeping and ensuring a smooth voting exercise tomorrow. And I prepared that particular report.
On the Gilgil-Nyahururu highway, under police roadblock has already been erected. Every motor vehicle entering Ol Kalou subjected to rigorous checks ahead of tomorrow's mini-poll. At the adjacent Salient High School, hundreds of officers appear to be in the last-minute briefings before deployment to the 144 polling stations spread across Ol Kalou constituency. The deployment comes following the announcement by the Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, that over 1,000 officers, besides multiple platoons, will be engaged.
We have a minimum of 2 police officers per every polling station. Their work shall be to safeguard the voting materials, the voting process itself, while offering adequate security at each and every polling station. They comprise of not less than 14 officers at each and every polling station to ensure steadfast and robust security coverage.
The development, according to the opposition, is suspicious. DCP leader Rigathi Gachagua terming it as a plot to instill fear, cause mayhem, and destabilize peace to suppress voter turnout in select areas. In an 8-page letter to the Electoral Commission, Gachagua claims a secret meeting was held in Gilgil on Monday evening, attended by some government and UDA officials with the aim of manipulating the by-election outcome. The letter reads in part, "The meeting was informed that in your concurrence, plainclothes officers will cause mayhem to build a voter apathy in select polling stations in the same manner and bigger magnitude." The letter further reads, quote, "True to the deliberations, today at Ruring Stadium, a meeting of 800 police officers who have been deployed to Ol Kalou was held. Each polling station will have 14 police officers outside and 2 inside the halls." He further says, quote, "There is a lot of disenfranchisement among the electoral officials and the police that the new contingent of 16 police officers per polling station and additional platoons will destabilize peace, tranquility and order in Ol Kalou." End of quote.
Sasa swali tunajiuliza ni nini hii ambayo iko kwa saa hii, kwa sababu maaskari wamemwagwa hapa wengi. Sasa hata mimi naona kama kila mtu hapa Ol Kalou akienda kurusha kwa debe akona askari wake juu ni wengi kuliko watu.
Venye wameleta askari wengi, kuna watu wanaweza sikia uoga, lakini wengi wao hawana uoga kwa sababu saa hii wameamua lazima watokezee waende uchaguzi. Kwa sababu ukitokezee unaenda uchaguzi, hata ukikuta askari wangapi na una kosa yoyote umefanya, huendi kufanya jambo mbaya, unaenda kuvote alafu uende nyumbani.
Barabara hazifungwi. We have only made sure access to the constituency is managed so that we don't get goons being transported from outside into the constituency. It's a precautionary measure. We have deployed enough police officers, both in uniform and in civilian. The one in civilian are supposed to detect crime that is being done.
Even though the opposition has expressed its apprehension over the heavy deployment of security officers in the 144 polling stations in Ol Kalou, the IEBC has assured of no sinister motive, saying it only seeks to ensure security of voters and a smooth voting exercise. Alan Ochanda, KTN in Ol Kalou, Nyandarua County. Well, that is the much we gathered here in Ol Kalou. Ken Gashuhi, my colleague, and I, of course, we were here just gathering that and ensuring that our viewers are brought to speed with what is happening here. And we can authoritatively report that the voting materials have already arrived here. They were checked here by the commissioners led by Commissioner Nderitu, Hassan Nur Hassan, and of course they were flanked by some candidates for this particular position. Remember that this position has attracted 9 candidates. No independent candidate is actually yearning for this position, but they are all sponsored by political parties. They were also flanked by agents of the other absent candidates. And so, Ian, we are still gathering more because, of course, the D-Day is tomorrow. Remember, this particular by-election has elicited a lot of political emotions. And so, tomorrow early morning, when the first voter will be casting his or her vote, we shall be on ground to ensure that our voters, our viewers, rather, do not miss any bit of the by-election. Given the political emotions, it's actually elicited. And so, Ian, that is a guarantee to our viewers. And so, back to you in studio, Ian.
Well, indeed, pretty much. Many thanks, Alan Ochanda. and of course the rest of the team that is in Ol Kalou to bring you up to speed with the latest. Remember, we'll be having a 360 coverage of that particular by-election here on KTN tomorrow morning as from 6 all the way to when the votes will be counted. And of course, the winner of that particular by-election will be announced. So keep it KTN tomorrow. Now, and in regards to that particular by-election, we'll be having a conversation also as from 10 p.m. in regards to matters security and the culture of goods. And I'll be joined by two gentlemen and a lady, Mr. Omenya, Mr. Musemali, and of course, Ms. Kahuria, in regards to the culture of goons and the violence that we have witnessed in Ol Kalou constituency. That will be at exactly 10 p.m. So make a date or book a date with us at that